So now we have a little bit of good news coming from Xbox, and this could be something that really changes how people perceive Xbox. We do see some positive momentum on the Xbox side, believe it or not. This thanks a lot to the college football game. Believe it or not, that's a hilarious thing to me. I did a video about that already, but to me, it's crazy that college football is kind of synonymous with the Xbox brand. And what's crazy about that is the reason why it's synonymous with the Xbox brand is because when the last one was out, people were playing it on the Xbox 360, right? So yeah, that's crazy, man. When you think about it, like that game, college football or NCAA football 14, I think it is, which came out in 2013. Was the last college football game until this one. So people waited a decade, and believe it or not, a lot of people were waiting to play this game again, and so apparently there's been a big spike in console sales. Yes, I believe probably some are also on PlayStation 5 sales or whatever, but overall, it looks like the Xbox Series S was selling out in a lot of places because people were realizing that they couldn't play college football on a previous gen system. And I'm sure some, and I know of at least one person personally, who thought that they could just buy the game on their 360. And I was like, dude, the 360 hasn't been a thing for a long time. But anyway, this isn't what this is about. This is about keeping that momentum up, and I'm sure you guys are very interested in this. So this is going to be something that either turns things for Xbox or doesn't. And if it doesn't, Xbox could be in big trouble. But let's keep our fingers crossed that this is the big thing that happens. So according to this, one of the biggest games is coming to Game Pass, and that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And you're not going to have very long to wait, according to this. According to this person, Call of Duty, and this was absolutely corroborated by like Windows Central and some other people as well, is still on deck for Xbox Game Pass in the July 2024 lineup. Other insiders previously claimed that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 would be coming to Game Pass in July, which guess what? July is almost over. But many started to doubt the claims after the second wave of lineup was announced and Call of Duty was nowhere to be seen. But Xbox Game Pass July 2024 Wave 2 lineup was actually pretty bare compared with all the additions announced in the blog having already been added to the service. Last week, Game Pass subscribers were treated to the horrible Flintlock, Siege Dawn, and Flock, and Dungeons of Hinterberg, and Kumatsu Gamu. And according to the latest official information from Xbox, that's all have fans to look forward to until August. However, a reliable leaker insists that there's more on the way when it comes to Game Pass in July's lineup. According to this person, they said that the Modern Warfare 3 game is coming to Game Pass on Wednesday, July 24th. They made the claim in a tweet on X, where they also said that Valorant's console version will be officially out on July 26th as well. So there's no official announcements backing up their claim, but needless to say, fans should take the information with a grain of salt. But if accurate, fans should find out sooner rather than later. So it would be, out of the ordinary for Xbox Game Pass to suddenly add more games for the second half of the month, having already confirmed its Wave 2 lineup. However, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 could be considered a special case, as Modern Warfare 3 would mark the first Call of Duty on Game Pass. So it would be a big deal, and when it does join the service, Call of Duty games, like the classic ones, the older ones, are expected to come to Game Pass at some point as well. So hopefully Modern Warfare 3's debut is bundled with info on when fans can expect those games to make their debuts. Now, personally, I know a lot of you don't realize, maybe you do realize, that I am a big Call of Duty fan. I own all of them. But the thing is I like some of the older ones better, and to be clear, I just felt like they played better, and I guess it could be a nostalgia thing, but they play really, really good, the older ones, the original Black Ops and, Modern Warfare 2 and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see the bump in player base when this happens. Like, is that going to happen across the board? That could be something that pushes Xboxes, sort of like college football. You see, oh, well, I could spend, a couple $100 or whatever and get all of these Call of Duty games and play them again with my friends, or I could, play on a new Series S or something, so I think that could be somewhat the thought process for a lot of people, and hopefully we get that. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 isn't the only extra game coming to Game Pass at the end of June. According to this, they've also claimed that the indie game Dave the Diver is coming to Xbox Game Pass as well. But again, no official announcement has been made just yet. So, we'll have to wait and see how that kind of pans out. But like I said, I think that, it's going to be an interesting thing when it does happen. If this does release, I think that, it's going to be an interesting situation to see how this affects, Microsoft and things like that. So I think, a lot of fans will probably be excited by this, but I also think, that we're going to see people kind of maybe come around to sort of what's coming out. So, again, we'll see. And like I said, I think this is going to be one of those things that could change the way that people are viewing Game Pass and Xbox in general, and I think that would be a very good thing, because we need people to kind of buy into Xbox. We need that to be more competitive. Yes, I understand Microsoft is far from perfect, completely get it, but this is also the type of situation where, as gamers, we need people to kind of go out there and go, okay, well, yeah, Xbox isn't this bad thing or whatever. Yes, I realize that, probably it's not going to be people's first choice for a console, but, like even at $20, I think Game Pass is a decent deal. I think that if it goes up any more than that, we're probably looking at, a situation where where it would maybe not make it. Like, I think once it hits that $25 mark, I'm not sure if it would make sense for it to, to be this great deal. Unless you're like really big into what Microsoft is offering, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it looks like they're offering some good stuff, but if you're like a regular Call of Duty purchaser or whatever, is this going to be some amazing deal? Then maybe, because it's just one of those things. But if you're a person that only plays Call of Duty, I don't know if it's a great deal, because again, paying over like $250 a year to rent the game, whereas you could buy it for $70, I think that is something that people are going to have to figure out for themselves, and we'll see if that actually happens or not. Like I said, it's a strange time. Who would have thought that NCAA football, college football, would have been the thing that kind of gets people amped about Xbox again? I know, like, that wasn't on my bingo card, but here it is. Obviously this console is selling pretty well thanks to that. So, we'll see if that continues to be the case as things kind of progress, and then that little bit of momentum, then people are like, oh wow, I can play Call of Duty in Game Pass or whatever, So those are the things that we kind of look at and say, okay, well, that could happen. So, we'll have to see. But I think Microsoft is probably thankful of some of this stuff happening, and the idea that people are going to go back to Xbox. See, that just goes to show that there is this group of people. If Microsoft could have get people to just remember Xbox 360, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think it's one of those things that is going to happen sooner or later. People are going to kind of like, maybe Xbox isn't so bad or whatever. So, there is this casual fan out there that will buy an Xbox, and they have the cheapest one, and I think they could see a bump. I mean, I don't think things are necessarily that bad. Like, yeah, we don't know the exclusive situation or what else is going to go to PlayStation at what point, but we do know that Microsoft had a great showcase with games, their first party stuff, right? We know that stuff is coming to Xbox. We know that stuff is coming to Game Pass. We know that Call of Duty is coming to Game Pass. We know that this NCAA football game is selling consoles, and we know that Microsoft has the cheapest point of entry for probably the biggest game of the generation, and that's Grand Theft Auto 6. So like I said, I do believe that people will buy a PS5 Pro for that, to get the best experience, but there's probably people still on Xbox One, or maybe they didn't even get an Xbox One, but maybe they're still playing GTA 5 on a 360 or something, and I believe they could upgrade to a Series S to get the new GTA, and that's the cheapest point of entry for people. So you could see some spikes of life from Xbox there, and I think that would be pretty cool. Not that trust me, I don't. Xbox is never overtaking PlayStation ever. It's not going to happen. But like I said, it could be a little bit more competitive, and some people could pick it up, especially after the terrible showing that Xbox sales have had this year in particular. I will link this. You guys can check it out. Do you think this is a game changer for Xbox? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.